Hi, welcome to a bass lesson for OmeedBassLesson1a. So on this first bass lesson for Omeed, we're going to go over some scales. And again, this is a bass lesson for Omeed. So if you're not Omeed, then I ask you to change the YouTube channel and watch something else, change your video. So Omeed, since it's just you and I now, I'm going to go over some scales, 3 major scales. There's 12 major scales overall. And there's also, we'll cover some minor scales in other videos. And the minor scales are basically like just a variation of the major. So once you learn the major scales, you're kind of set. And there's only 12 of them. So there's only 12 scales. So we're going to go over 3 of them today. So that's you're a quarter of the way done when you master this video. And then we'll go over 3 in the next lesson. So you'll be halfway done by then. So I'm playing with a pick. You can play finger style, pluck with your fingers if you want. I came to bass from guitar. I played with guitar with a pick for years, so I got used to using a pick. So when I switched over to bass, to me it just made sense to use a pick. If you're using a pick, you play guitar, so imagine you're probably using a guitar pick, and they're pretty thin. It'll do for now, but in the future you might want to stock up on like a thicker like bass pick. This one is 0.96 millimeters. I think the thickest is 1.5 or millimeters, which doesn't bend at all and is very thick. So thicker picks usually for bass, and you wouldn't want to really use a thick pick for guitar because it could break strings. But bass strings are heavy, a lot of material to move, so you want a thicker pick. But if you don't have one, you can use a thinner like guitar pick, 0.75 millimeter or whatever. It'll be fine. Or use your fingers. But I never learned finger style, so I can't really teach you how to play finger style where you pluck with your right hand because I never learned it myself. So I recommend tuning up. Make sure you're in tune. And we're going to go over, like I said, 3 scales. I hope to accomplish 3 things here. Got 3 objectives. 1, teach you which notes are in the scales I'm going to teach you. So you'll know what like the 7th note of the G scale is, whatever. Which is important to know what notes are on what scales. 2, you'll learn where the notes are on the fretboard, which is good. So if I play F sharp, you'll actually know where F sharp is on the fretboard. Spoiler alert, it's right there. Oh, there's another F sharp there. But we'll learn that. And the third objective is to get you playing. The worst thing that could happen is the bass sits in the corner and collects dust. So you don't want that. So, so those 3 things we're going to try to accomplish here. Teach you where the notes are on the scales, teach you where the notes are, or which notes are on the scales, teach you where the notes are on the fretboard, and just get you playing. Train that part of the brain that does, motor skills, whatever. Keep going. All right, so we've got all these metal frets going across. These little metal bars, and so you're going to want to play for your, like let's say at the first fret, you're going to want to put your finger not on top of the fret where you're actually going to somewhat mute the string, but just kind of behind it. Allow the string to vibrate over the fret. So keep that in mind with your left hand, and we're going to do something called the 1 finger per fret rule. So I'm going to teach you first position, which is the first 4 frets here, and so each fret gets a finger. So first fret's your index finger, second fret's your middle finger, third fret's your ring finger, and the 4th fret's your pinky finger. That way you're not, taking your index finger and moving it all around and shifting your hand. Just keep your hand in one position, and just, if you're playing something in the first fret, use your index finger. If you're playing at the 3rd fret, use your ring finger. Each finger gets kind of zone coverage, to use a sports analogy, over those frets. So let's start with the C scale, and the note names B, C, D, E, G, they all kind of sound the same. So in band class, we used to say like B as in boy, so to distinguish from, let's say, a C or a G. But I know you're really big into animals, so we'll say A for aardvark, B for bird, C for cat, D for dog, E for elephant, F for ferret, and G for giraffe. True, A and F don't really sound like B, C, D, E, or G, but I figure if I give animal names to the other notes, I'll give animal names to A and F. And I might also pronounce on occasion dog as dog or dog, because it's fun that way to me. So at the beginning here we have 5 strings, right? It's B as in bird, is your low one. Next one, when I say low, I don't mean low toward the floor, just like low sounding. Your thickest, lowest sounding string is B as in bird. Your next lowest sounding string is E as in elephant. The third lowest sounding, or third highest sounding because it's in the middle, is A as in aardvark. And I kind of picked a funny sounding aardvark name for that one because it's in the middle. So when you hear like aardvark, think it's a funny sounding word. It's the middle string. Alright, next one, D as in dog. That's your second thinnest string. And then G as in giraffe would be the highest sounding string. Another thing you can think of is E as an elephant. It's a really low sounding, right? And elephants are big animals. They have like lots of low sounds, like when they walk and they all across the earth. And so B, even being the lowest, maybe instead of bird, you could think of it as brontosaurus, an animal even bigger than an elephant. But I'll stick with B for bird. So those are our 5 strings, and they're named because those are the notes that you hear when you're not playing anything. So, like the G string there is a G string because you play it open without putting your hand on the fretboard, you hear G, that's a G note. A string, play it open, you hear A. So, okay, so that's it for the preliminary stuff. Let's actually go into the scales now. So we're going to do first a C scale. C is in cat. So it starts on a C. Each scale is named after the note it starts on. So C is on the A string, A as in aardvark. A string on the 3rd fret. So we're going to use our 3rd finger, which is the ring finger. We don't play with our thumbs at all. You can kind of put the thumb behind the neck to support the hand. But your index finger is 1, middle finger 2, ring finger 3, pinky finger 4. Alright? So 3rd fret, 3rd string. I hope you like number 3. That's C as in cat. Sounds like this. Alright, next note is D as in dog. That's going to be your D string open. Notice I'm not putting my hand anywhere on there. Now when you're playing, you can have your fingers kind of hovering over the board, but I'm kind of bringing my hand totally out of the way right now. D open. Next one is on the D string, but it's the 2nd fret. So we're going to use our middle finger and play E as an elephant. Not to be confused with the low E down here. Same note, but one's higher than the other, right? Notice if I go a fret in either direction, it sounds way different. Or if I go up here, that sounds very dissonant. But if I play this E, it sounds right on, except just one's higher than the other. Alright, so that's E as an elephant. So let's go over our first 3 notes. On the A string, C as in cat, 3rd fret, with our ring finger. Next note, D as in dog. On the D string, open. Next note, same string, D string, 2nd fret with our middle finger. That's E as in elephant. Put it together, C, D, E. Next note is right next to that, so we're on the D string, D as in dog string still. This is going to be on the ring finger at the 3rd fret. This is F as in ferret. So C, D, E, F. Next note is G as in giraffe. That's the G string open. Alright, let's put those first 5 notes together. C, D, E, F, G. mistake. Now we only have 3 more notes to learn. So let's knock it out right now. We're going to learn, they're all on the G string. 2nd fret with our middle finger is going to be A as an aardvark. This is an octave higher than the A string. Alright, next note, pinky finger, B as in bird. This is at the 4th fret on the G string. My bad. And then the last note is C, which we'll actually have to slide our hand a little bit to hit this. It's on the 5th fret, so we'll do a little pinky slide. Hit the high C as in cat. So C as in cat, D as in dog, E as in elephant, F as in ferret, G as in giraffe, A as in aardvark, B as in bird, C as in cat again. So this note, my bad, these are both C's. C as in cat. Alright, we'll try it again without me saying the note names. And me with me saying the note names. C, my bad, my mistake. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And we can go down the scale. C, B as in bird, A as in aardvark, G as in giraffe, F as in ferret, E as in elephant, D as in dog, C as in cat. Now one of the things we used to do in band class, we would go up a